Deadly. Dude, we've had like one like tornado in like 20 years.
You got the worst one in Canada, though.
Yeah.
In Canada's history.
Oh, congratulations for that one.
You guys have one, what, every weekend down there or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's gross. Alrighty, hey everybody, welcome back to another episode off the Hosel, episode 73, a Tyler Toffoli episode.
Ooh.
Episode 73. I'm Drew Kocur, I'm your host, and I'm joined by the picking machine, Danny H.
Coach, what's going on?
Nothing. It's podcast day, always exciting day. Tuesday nights, recordings, as always. No Troy today. We'll see you next week, Troy, hopefully. But full agenda this week, Danny H. We got a lot of hockey to talk about. Troy's Oilers, your Leafs are winning, and a lot of golf talk too as well. So before we do all that, Danny H., this is brought to you by Nissan Regina. They're located on 1111 Broad Street. You ever need an oil change, vehicle, anything, it's time you use Nissan. Drive Nissan today. Check them out. They're the best in the business. Danny H., where are we always recording from?
We're recording from Divots Indoor Golf on Rochdale Boulevard. They're not open now, but they will be at the end of the summer. So come check them out when they open back up. Yeah.
Attaboy. All right, lots to chat about today. Like I just mentioned, hockey and golf, and let's dive right into it. First off, before we do into sports, I guess we'll go into the weekend, long weekend. What'd you get up to?
Just got absolutely after it on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. I stayed up till I started drinking at 4 p.m. Stayed awake till about 4:30 a.m. So that's how my night went.
That's a grind.
It was a grind, but I had a pretty good time. I was exhausted by the end of it, but yeah. What'd you do? Golfed?
I went golfing on
It's kind of
Saturday.
shitty weather for golf.
Saturday, man, it was great actually. It was like 12.
Not too hot, not too cold.
It was it was kind of perfect. No wind. I took my gal out and played 18 holes at Avonlea. Partners of the show. Had a lot of fun out there. Played pretty well, and then I played the following day. It was a little windy with the intern Ripper. Played at the Royal. So I played 2 rounds this past weekend when I thought I wasn't going to play any golf because they predicted snow and rain.
Snow on Friday and all weekend and rain.
Yeah, so good luck to other guests on that. Just watch some golf.
Beat you there on that?
Oh yeah. I got after it.
What'd you shoot that day with
76.
And he shot 77.
Yeah,
That's pretty good for him, eh?
Yeah, he's playing well. Like I said, I got after it, and it's my own mistake.
What were you drinking on the course?
Plus ones, Frescamos, vodka, Last Mountain Distillery vodka. So
Standard, everything.
yeah, hard alcohol. So, but I mean, hey, if you want to play your golf, Dan, you gotta stay sober.
Yeah, well, I figured
it's a
that
battle.
out. I finally figured that out this year. So
All right, lots to chat about.
Yeah.
Let's dive right into the North Division because that's all I've been watching lately. I've watched a little bit. I've watched the Carolina games here and there, Vegas game, but let's talk about the Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets. The Oilers finished second place in the division and end up getting swept in 4 games to the Winnipeg Jets. Thoughts on that, Dan?
yeah, I pretty much watched 3 out of the 4 games that they got swept, and I think there's a lot of problems in Edmonton right now. I think the biggest thing, like we talked about off air, is they don't have enough depth. Goaltending's an issue, I think. Last night, triple overtime they lose in, and I wouldn't say it's Mike Smith's fault by any means, but it just something about him. It seems like one little tap, one shot in net, someone shoots it at his head, and he just gets rattled, and he's just like a nutcase. It's like, why don't you just focus on playing your game? You know what I mean? But I'm not saying it was his fault by any means, but game 3 he led in some weak ones. But I think overall the team is just not strong enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, to further that point, I think just depth lacks. And even a lot of communication problems happen with, that's why Mike Smith looks bad sometimes. He comes out and plays a puck.
Yeah.
The D-man don't go to the corners where he's supposed to go, so he's like, okay, who's open?
He's a very aggressive one.
Yeah, he wants to make a play with the puck, so you either communicate with him, like stay in your net, or, hey, I know where I'm going, and make a pass to him. So the other thing, too, I was talking to someone last night, and, I put a tweet out. I was like, are you shitting me? Darnell Nurse's time on ice. He had a 5-minute shift, or just under 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
And you can't do that. So now, for me, who's a hockey coach, but I'm not going to, fault Dave Tippett. But my question is to him is,
why is he on the ice that long?
like he wasn't playing Bear, he wasn't playing Slater Cuckoo. I think you got to get some of those guys, once in a while, just a little bit of taste. Get on the ice for 10 seconds, 12 seconds, like get him back in the game because now you're running 4D. Larson's not very good. It's Barry and Nurse. Really. Chris Russell. But that was his first game in the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can't be playing your D-man 5-minute shifts or 4-9-minute, whatever it was. Like, geez, that's ridiculous. And, yeah, you said you can't full tip it, but in a way it is kind of – I think it is a coaching issue too because, why are you playing these – I get people are saying, Bear wasn't playing very good up until then, but still to sit him all overtime, those first 2 overtimes, and then you're just pretty much tiring out Nurse. I don't really agree with that, but I guess it is what it is. I mean –
yeah.
And you can't expect one thing, too, with the Oilers. Pretty much they rely on McDavid and Draisaitl to do all the scoring, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and the one thing I was just, wondering, too, is they kind of ran, 2 lines, and they ran, they threw Kocur out for 1 kill. That's hard on a guy. I mean, I've been in a situation before. We play each other in a double overtime series in junior hockey. We've been in those scenarios. I mean, we're playing, but guys that aren't playing, that's hard on those guys that, hey, go make a big play here. Yeah. You just sat it for 2 periods. So now I don't know what they're going to do in the offseason here. Do they have some big decisions to make? Does Barry resign? Who do they find for a goaltender? I think they need more defensemen. Yeah. Personally, and they need more forwards. Yeah, they need more depth.
They need a better bottom 6 forwards because the forwards that they have, the bottom 6 that they have now, just isn't working. And like you said, just better depth overall. I don't know what Mike Smith's contract is, but I would think I don't know if he's going to be back or not. Depending on his contract, I don't know what it is actually. So
yeah.
Too bad we didn't have Troy here. He's a big Oilers fan. So
yeah, I'm sure listening to this probably thinking that we're both done, which is totally fine. But you know what? The one thing I will say, and I think pretty evident about it, that the Jets, I liked them from day one. Oh, yeah. They're a heavy team. They're big, they're strong, they're aggressive. They play you hard every shift. Yeah. And honestly, they don't care who you are on that side of the ice. Mm-hmm. I'll give 100% credit to Piant and DeMello, who went after McDavid all game. Yep. Now, there has to come a respecting that McDavid, the fastest player in the game, didn't draw 1 penalty all series.
I know.
So
it was. Did you see his emotions? I mean, last game obviously he's pissed off, but the game 3 when they lost, it was just it's just like he just his face is just like, of course.
Yeah. In game 4, he was a little more engaged and ripping guys apart. And I was kind of the same way. I'll be completely honest. I would kind of not to the point where you're not good at hockey, but constructive criticism to the point where it's I'm not mad at you. It's just hey, let's do this better.
And kicking the ass, right?
Yeah, and I totally thought PRV, he was going to score the game winner last night. He was unreal
flying around.
In the second hockey game. He was unreal. Mm-hmm. I thought he was great. I think that's a big confidence boost for him because hey, one of the best players in the world says, blah 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 blah. What are you doing? He goes, okay, you know what? Either he sulks or he elevates his game, and I thought he did that. So there is some positives there, I guess. But at the same time, I've been in a scenario, finish second place in the seed, and you lose 4 straight. It's not fun. No. So there's a lot of questions to be answered by those guys, but yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, we'll see what Troy has to say maybe next week when he's on, but
yeah, because Troy and the others have something in common now. They're both golfing, so they'll both hang out there.
There you go.
Leafs, Montreal. You're a Leaf guy. I watched the game. Was it Friday night? No,
Saturday.
Saturday night. Sorry, yeah. So decent hockey game. Thoughts on that from a Leaf fan? I guess.
Well, we're up 2-1. I mean, the first game, you kind of look at it. Tavares gets taken out there, and you don't want to say it's these guys are professionals, right? You don't want to say, oh, that's the first game they're all rattled and they're all shook up. That's why they lost. But I think there was a sense of their emotions are down a bit when you see your captain drop like that and get stretchered off. But I think they bounced back pretty well Saturday and last night on Monday, I guess now. But I think they played well the last 2 games. I like the way Jack Campbell's playing. I don't know if he's going to start tonight.
Stick taps, the email time.
Oh, I love that.
Little dork.
Yeah, Jack Campbell, he's playing really well. I think Freddie's going to be in net tonight. They haven't announced yet, but yeah, I think overall they're playing pretty good. One thing with Montreal, last night they finally played Caulfield. The guy looked like the best Montreal Canadian out there. Why he wasn't playing game 1 or 2?
And his ice was so limited too in the third period, especially when who went down for the Latinez went down, and they still didn't play him. It's like, how do you not utilize that guy more? Like, he's so energetic and he wants to be in the game. He hasn't played. He's like, this is my chance.
His snapshot's just unreal. He can get the puck off in a hurry.
Yeah,
well, he hit the crossbar. He had the best chance for them to tie it up last night. So, I don't know. Carey Price is standing on his head. Did you see that save last night on JJ Killeen? Maybe not. No. You would have remembered it if you saw it.
Yeah, probably.
Just huge. It could have been a for sure goal and just dives across, sticks in.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah.
So.
And it was kind of cool how like Kelly Rudy broke it down, how Price turning the blade and like that.
I do think that Spezza just one tease that he scores, but he held on to it a little long, and then Price makes an unbelievable save. But I don't know. The Montreal, they're just kind of hanging around. You know what I mean? They're not going to a team that's going to beat the Leafs 6-1, 5-1.
No, but the Leafs are the better team on paper, on the ice right now. But the Canadians are doing everything they can in their own power to push them to 5 or 6 or 7, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
The one thing I took away from the game last night was, and this is a good teaching point for anyone, whether it's golf, hockey, Morgan Riley, he kind of commits, and Suzuki scores.
Yeah.
And again, back to the old, do I sit there and sulk, or how do I figure out better? And a minute and a half later, scores a big goal on Price cheating, actually, because he thinks he's passing his own Morgan Riley's a good passer, and he scores a game winner. So there's a play right there. I'm like, if every kid watched that, whether it's golf or hockey or baseball, that's how you kind of elevate your game, and that's why he's a good pro.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a nice shot by him. I didn't know what Carey Price was doing on that one, though.
Well, he cheated. He
cheated,
He pushed it because he thought it was going to Hyman in front for a tip, and Riley made a great decision play last minute there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, if the Leafs can sneak another one out here and go up 3-1, I think they got it in the bag. But see how it goes, because Montreal's they're not going away anytime soon. So.
Yeah, true. Alrighty.
Can I bring something up about the Winnipeg? Did you see that little Bud Light Seltzer mascot?
Oh, yeah. No free ads.
Okay, no free ads, but anyways, that mascot, that was hilarious, eh?
So he's wearing his towel.
He's got big hands. Remember they're in the Winnipeg zone, and he's just, get it out, buddy.
I remember someone on the hockey news, or on Sirius, actually, I wonder what today, Steve Coos is like, for that guy to sit there for 2 hockey games, to sit there in a suit and just probably be sweating watching the game.
I would do it, though.
That'll be kind of fun.
Put me in a suit. As long as I can stick a drink in there, a little beverage in there, and sip on at the same time, but...
Alrighty, let's jump back to last week's podcast with David Byrne and Ryan Pollock. Dan, I wanted to rip that off quick. We kind of jumped to hockey first because we're both excited about it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on those two guys' interviews? Ryan Pollock at the end, the new GM of the Royal, and David Byrne, golf pro.
Yeah, they were good ones. That Ryan guy, you could just tell he's a leader. I think he's gonna do good at the Royal, right? And I think they're gonna have. Is he plan on making lots of changes there? Like, really, what?
I wouldn't say a lot of changes. I'm sure he's going to go in there and probably evaluate what's going on right now,
yeah,
and then kind of dissect from each spot he's going to. But no, I think it'll be good for the club.
Yeah,
everyone's excited, and yeah, you need a strong person in that role to be a good leader. So
yeah, he seems like a great leader, and yeah, both were great episodes though.
Awesome. All right, local talk. June 5th and 6th is a reminder, the Scotia Wealth Open in Nipawin. I just booked my tee time today, Friday at 2:20.
Yeah, so what's going on with that? A little practice round?
Practice round there, yeah. Christian's coming up. We're leaving Friday. You coming, Dan?
I don't even know yet. You just asked me now. So.
Oh, all right. Well, if you're coming, you're coming. But, yeah, so Friday we're leaving, practice round 2:20, and then Saturday, Sunday. So, and I've talked to Dean already and what the plan is after. I'm playing in the first group of day 1, Saturday.
So the tournament starts June 5th?
June 5th,
oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Saturday at one of the best golf courses in the province. It's green, it's mint, it's up north. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
And one of the best fields, too. 84 players. 84, that's a lot of golfers. So you can tell everyone's wanting at the edge to play. What we're to do? Sorry,
I cut you off there. What were you saying about Dino?
Oh, yeah. So I was going to say was what we're going to do is I'm playing in the first group. After my round's done, we're setting up shop behind the 18th green. Christian takes some videos and photos, whatever, but then we're going to do, the lowest guy from each group coming in. We'll ask, hey, would you shoot? Blah, blah. Okay, so, Dave Stewart, you're -3. Come here. And it's going to be a one-on-one. Hey, Dave, like just at the golf channel, thoughts on today's round and blah, blah. Cut it all together. Throw it on Facebook, YouTube.
Nice.
Really give something for people back home watching, if it's family members or cousins or And like I said, the whole reason why we started this thing was to showcase local talent.
Saskatchewan talent.
And and amateur golfers, and especially now it's golf time. It's like, hey, like people don't get TV time and radio time because we're amateurs, right? So looking forward to that event. It's one of the best events of the year. College players come, pros can play in it, amateurs. It's one of the best.
Yeah, that'll be sweet actually. So hopefully I can maybe make the trip up with you guys, but
That'd be sick. Alrighty, off to our golf talk, brought to you by TaylorMade Golf. Dan, thoughts on the TaylorMade Golf?
oh, Sim 2 Max drivers. Have you used them yet? Of course you have.
I have a Sim 2. He's a Sim 2 Max. But we have TaylorMade golf clubs, TaylorMade gear.
Unreal.
It's the best. The best players in the world use TaylorMade, so why shouldn't
You.
Exactly. Play TaylorMade golf. Today, we are Team TaylorMade. All right, Danny, PGA Championship this past weekend, our second major of the year.
Yeah, Big Phil.
The lefty gets it done at the age of 50 years old. He beats Brooks Koepka by 2. Man, I get sore getting out of bed at 25. This guy's winning the majors at 50.
Yeah.
So, congrats to Phil. Like, you don't think Tiger's watching home right now going, oh, I'm ready to come back.
Yeah.
I want to get healthy. I want to play.
Yeah, he's going to make a comeback for sure.
Brooks in second place, losing by 2. Abraham Answer, again, another top 10 finish, finishing T8th. Canadians, Corey Connors, T17th, another solid week for him. Adam Hadwin, friend of the show, T64th. And Mackenzie Hughes was cut. And then a little latter portion of the internet. Brooks and Bryson broke the internet yesterday on a leaked interview that the guy actually got permission to put it out there, from what it sounds like. But do these guys hate each other or what? Like, God, I like Bryson. And I said this before. I like the way he looks at the game different and he works out like crazy. And he's good for the game. Like, he's fun to...
Something different, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like he's kind of like the John Daly, hitting the ball far. I drive the ball real far. The old song John Daly had. But and then Brooks is just shredded and shows up to the golf course, and he doesn't like to practice around, and he's all swagger, and that's fine too. The interview, everyone's like, "That's hilarious." Is it? It's kind of a little not embarrassing, but it's kind of a little childish.
Yeah, it just seems like he's just whining, like Brooks Koepka, like Koepka. Did I say that right?
Yeah, Koepka. Yeah.
He just seems like, I don't know. Every time I see that guy, he's doing interviews. He's not a very good
PR guy.
Yeah, not a very good PR. You can just tell he's just annoyed to talk to people, and it's just like, obviously, Bryson came around and said something to him right while he's doing it.
Yeah.
But to just kind of shake his head and just like F.
And
he swore right on TV. It's like, come on, grow up a little bit. But whatever. I mean, I guess it's kind of adds to the fuel to the fire in a way, right? When they're playing each other.
Yeah, I
right?
guess. But I think all of our moms would have said this to when we were a young kid. If you got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I mean, it's kind of like whatever. Like, I giggled at it once, and then I moved away. But then you see everyone, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, is it? Like,
I just think kind of grow up a little bit. Like, you're a professional, act like it. But.
Yeah. Now, would I want Bryson and Brooks on the show? Absolutely, to talk about golf. But Danny's sweater today says Team Portnoy.
Yeah.
Brooks, Koepka, and Portnoy are planning to play a golf round together, and Brooks is going to play wrong-handed. It's scary to see how far Brooks hits the ball.
Yeah.
The wrong hand, 300-yard driver. Like
how?
What?
How do you do that? Like,
and like that's someone told me, I don't know who it was, like a while back. They're like, how many pro golfers play the wrong hand at least once or twice a month just to get, I don't know, like they say it feels back in sync almost because they're going the wrong hand. They feel everything out and whatever. But that's going to be kind of fun to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got for that. Next week, the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. Another exciting golf event, as always. The field's a little different. It's not as good as last week.
Where is it at?
It's at the Colonial Golf and Country Club.
Do you know where it is, though?
Moving on. I didn't even look at it, to be honest. But, yeah. What else, Dan?
I don't know what else.
No Inside the Doghouse or Doghouse with Danny H?
No, in the Doghouse with Danny H this week. We'll be back next week.
All right.
What else do we get? We talked a lot of hockey.
Broke down something else out here. What else did I break down? Oh, actually, there's a point here on my phone.
Anybody say any topics they wanted us to talk about?
Yes. We had one guy talk about golf, and then here is the Here's a topic for you. This is from Jeremy Hanley, good listener of the show from Ontario.
Yeah.
We finally got out to play golf in Ontario this weekend. Everyone and their brother was out, and our round was 5 hours and 20 minutes for 18. How do you try and stay in a rhythm when you're constantly waiting, ... asking for a friend? That's a question I ask myself every time, Jeremy, when I'm playing every golf tournament.
Yeah.
One, my brain kind of moves a lot faster than everyone else's in not like a smart way. It's just like, I see a bug. Oh, there's a bug. And then what golf ball? So
Squirrel.
yeah, I need to keep moving. A lot of golf tournaments I play in, what I try and do is, communicate with the guys in my group. If they're not into talking, that's fine. Then I kind of just, I have a snack or I kind of stretch out a little bit or, swing the club. Just you got to stay focused though. And I get long rounds can be hard on people, and you just really got to stay focused on what you're trying to do.
Have you ever played with a guy in a tournament and just nice shot and just doesn't talk to you?
Oh
just
yeah.
Straight faced, not saying a word to you.
There's some guys out there. And it's probably why they beat me all the time. They just don't say anything. They just I'm like, nice shot, man. And then they don't say anything. And I'll say it again at the green.
Yeah.
And then they can't. So I almost reassure that I had to say it again. I think I'm a nice person. And they're just like, thanks. So, what was that?
Speak up.
Yeah. So some guys are just to themselves, which is totally fine too.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like a Birch Kepka, just playing to himself. And, I just.
Have you ever had any, I've never asked you this before, but have you ever had any guys, you don't have to say any names, obviously, but any guys just snap? Just whip their club across the green? Or...
Oh, yeah, this past week, last week, I'll say the name, Dez. Me and Ripper and Dez were playing, and he's having a bad day. He's grumpy. And I kind of gave him a pat on the back, but hey, it's all right. You did a birdie this hole. So hits his tee shot right into the bush. And by the time it was off his club face, he slammed the club down. It landed flat, shattered in half.
Oh.
So, yeah. It happens. Guys that snap, they freak out.
Yeah. I mean, more in tournament play. Have you seen that?
I don't think in my group. Maybe I've seen guys slam their clubs. I've done it before, but I never broke one because my old man said if I ever break a club, he'd never buy me one ever again. So
makes sense. They ain't cheap, so.
No, they're not.
I've had last summer. I kind of had a little episode there near the end when I threw my driver, but hey, I laughed about it after, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just showing passion.
Exactly.
Like Ovi, Jamie Benn.
That's how much I love the game.
Exactly.
You're not getting mad. You don't love the game.
You care that much.
Exactly.
All righty, let's get to our guest here today. He's from Texas. He was the 2011 Corn Ferry Tour money leader. He's a sick player, a great person with his words. He's now a driving range pro, providing tips and lessons for all. JJ Killeen, a.k.a. West Texas Driving Range Pro. We hope you enjoy it. Pleased to be joined by a guy that is born in Texas, professional golfer, and a driving range pro. He's won the Corn Ferry Player of the Year in 2011, and he's best known as the West Texas Driving Range Pro. We are pleased to be joined by JJ today. Thanks for the podcast, man.
Dude, glad to be here for the people. Let's do it.
You know how long it took me to find your name, and then all I have to do is just read your handle. It just says JJ. And your full name's on there.
Yeah, there you go. My God, how hard was that?
I'm surprised your area code wasn't there too. But it's your name's JJ Killeen, and we're here. We're happy. Danny H is in the house.
Yeah, JJ, how's it going?
Just keeping it real. I was going to put my social security number on my Twitter handle, but I thought that was probably not going to work out too well.
All right. Okay. First off, let's get right into it here. We just talked off the record. Obviously, living in Texas. What's new with you? I know things are a little different down there than up here in the the north. But yeah, let's just chat. What's going on with you?
Not a lot, man. I stopped playing golf professionally for like 4 years, started back, had some Corn Ferry Tour status left, activated it, been doing a shitload of Monday shooters, miss most of them. And if I don't, I'm in a playoff probably. Got into a PJ Tour event not long ago. Me and John Peterson, if you guys know PD at all, we started For the People podcast, and it's been great, man. We've been kicking ass doing that, having a lot of fun. We don't know what the hell we're doing, so I think that's how that basically works, as you guys would know, right?
Oh yeah, we're the exact team.
Yeah,
that's how it happens.
We hope someone's listening because we're telling sponsors.
I know,
so it's perfect.
But yeah, dude, been doing that, and it's been good. Trying to play. I teach shitload of lessons, did about 1,000 online lessons last year. Do a bunch, working on a golf course project here, Red Feather Golf Club, with my good buddy Brad Ralston. Starting construction there in a few weeks. Other than that, nothing.
That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Well, I want to talk more too, just before we get into this. Like, so I saw you on Twitter doing your videos and you're teaching, and and then slamming a beer right after. That adds character. But first, I just want to chat about that, like your backyard, like how nasty is that? Like, I mean, it's kind of a mess sometimes, but I mean, other than that, it looks great.
Yeah, it's great. If people think it's a mess, they can get their ass down here and clean it for me if they want. I mean, how does that sound? I mean, it only blows 40 miles an hour every day that you're here. So there's shit flying all over the place. It's hard to keep tidy, but yeah, it's a nail situation, man. Redid it a little bit ago, a little practice facility, do a bunch of teaching there. Dude, my teaching and everything grew exponentially during COVID. It's one of those lucky businesses where golf in general grew a bunch during COVID, but people straight up didn't have a lot that they could do. Right. So golf never closed here. Obviously, even guys, if they were stuck in quarantine or whatever, they still wanted to maybe look at their swing or just have some sort of glimpse of normalcy, right? So started doing a bunch of just fun videos, tips, and then a lot of that teaching stuff grew there. Went through all the PGA stuff after I was playing, but PGA teaching certification, whatever, different than the PGA Tour, but it opened up a lot of different opportunities and stuff like that there too. And then yeah, man, it's been good. I think it's nice to relate to people, right? You see someone like golf instructor slam a beer, they're like, yeah, that's the shit that I'm here for, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and I was curious too, do you have a certain course you play at or membership at? Are you kind of playing everywhere?
Yeah, I mean, here in Lubbock, so West Texas, we get about 300,000 people or so decent sized town. Texas Tech's here, big university, but other than that, Dallas, Fort Worth, that's kind of the biggest city. That's probably 4.5 hour drive away. So I lived in Fort Worth when I was playing full time. Was a member at one called Mira Vista Colonial, where the tournament's there next week. But yeah, dude, I straight up I play Lake Ridge. I live kind of out there across the street from my house. Another one called Hillcrest. I play all the time. Where the Kearney Cup is, Reese Air Force Base / Golf Center. Play there quite a bit. Signature Hole's got a porn shop and 6 fireworks stands. So I do a lot of my golfing out there for the most part. And then I travel a bunch. So yeah, dude, I'll tee it up wherever there's a game, man. I'll play.
Awesome. Well, I do want to talk about some money later and gambling and whatnot later on in this.
Yeah.
But I guess we all probably gambled at some point when we were junior golfers, whether it's a milkshake or whatnot. Junior golf for you, did you excel right away? College, obviously you went to a college after that, just walk us through your junior experience and then,
Yeah, dude. So I grew up in San Diego, California, and I didn't, I played golf, but not like the kids today, man. I started playing when I was about 8 and then would maybe play once a week. Nails weather in San Diego, but I played every other sport. So I played baseball, basketball, I played football all the way till high school, broke my arm, and really stuck with golf after that. So I was kind of a late bloomer. I was pretty good when I was a kid. I could shoot par when I was 12 years old, just, playing once a week or so Sunday morning. But, nowadays kids are regimented with TrackMan and all that shit, looking at their numbers left and right, all that, kind of stuff. But I played all the sports, which I think helps too, right? It's sometimes you get these kids that are golf, win tournament, you're not my son type stuff. And it's dude, sometimes you got to have different, whatever. You guys are probably, I know you are, right? Big hockey guys. So
yeah.
I mean, dude, a lot of similarities in general, but there's a different sort of mentality that you kind of learn in every single sport. So I enjoy doing that. But anyway, make a long story short, I had a horrible broken arm in football playing in high school. My family moved out to Texas when I was a junior in high school, and we started playing golf all day, every day. Moved to Lubbock, not really a golf town compared to San Diego, but my golf game got way better because that's all I did every day. So got a scholarship. Yeah, got a scholarship row to play at TCU in Fort Worth, and we were top 5, top 10 team in the nation every single year. Got better and better and better. Turned pro. Korn Ferry Tour, won a few times, won the money lists out there, played PGA Tour, and now I work at a driving range. So hell of a deal.
Okay, so I mean, just a little bit back to the amateur side of things. So obviously, what the Canadian juniors are or Canadian amateurs.
Yeah, sure.
So did you play any Canadian amateurs?
No, man. I've played in Canada quite a bit. I didn't play as an amateur ever. I think my first Canadian adventure playing Gretzky. It was a nationwide tour at the time. He had one at Georgia Bay. You guys ever been there or played there? No. So it was Wayne Gretzky's tourney. So played one of the Pro-Am days with him. Freaking awesome experience. Good dude. loves a Grey Goose, fire a few of those down, and has himself a day, like all the time.
Yeah.
And then I played the PGA Tour event, the Canadian Open. The year I played, it was in Hamilton. Pretty sick track. I don't know. Can't play golf there. I think they burned all the golf courses down there or something. I don't think you can play there anymore, but used to play. If you could ever play there again, it was probably a pretty sick spot. But yeah, great experiences, great fans. Dude, the Canadians are the first hole of Canadian Open. I just hit a piece of shit off the tee, like way right, and I flew it right into this guy's chest, like right on the fly. I'm like, I killed this son of a bitch. I get up there, and the guy apologizes to me. He apologized for me hitting the shittiest drive of the whole tournament right into his chest. And I was like, these are the nicest people ever. Like, I mean, nice. I mean, god dang, can't even get any nicer. Almost kill someone. They apologize for that. Hell of a deal.
Did you sign his chest?
I should have. I like gave him a ball glove, and then I was like, bro, I can't give you like a whole dozen balls, because if I hit it like I did off this hole, I'll be out of balls like immediately. The course is pretty tough. So yeah, he was awesome. Kind of followed me around. We had a beer after the round. It was a good deal. Like, he was kind of wheezing while he was drinking the beer, because I think I ruptured something inside of his chest. But it was a hell of a nice experience for me, and hopefully him, if he's alive.
Ugh, yeah. Now he has like heart issues now. Like, just was it sternum?
Oh, it was worth it though. And
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it was definitely a foul ball that hit him on the fly.
Okay. I want to talk. Well, I just more college golf. Does that mean, did you win a lot in college?
I mean, not necessarily. Like, I wasn't. I mean, in all honesty, I was all American in college, which whatever. You can't suck, be all American, but bunch of good finishes, dude. But I didn't start winning tournaments. I didn't even win in college. Like, played the best schools every single week. I started winning tournaments when I was a pro. Right when I turned pro, for some reason, like something clicked. Started winning on mini tours, nationwide tour. Had a gazillion top fives on that tour, and it kind of, I don't know, I got better as a pro. It was weird. I was kind of not really a late bloomer, but I like wasn't too serious about the game in general, as far as like this could be my job, until I got like a scholarship to play golf in college, right?
Yeah.
So
here's a question for you. Like being a golf pro, and I've been told this stat, they say between the ages of 25 and 34, 35, that's your best peak. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, dude, it's one of those sports where like mental and physical kind of meet up, right? Like,
yeah,
whatever, dude. You're playing hockey, you're playing football, unless you're Tom Brady, you're playing, baseball, whatever. I mean, 22 to 30 is probably like Nail's age. Anything after 30, you're like a dinosaur. But I mean, not in golf, man. I mean, dude, Vijay Singh, I'm not going to let stats get in the way of a good story here, but he won something like 40 times in his 40s, right? Playing golf.
Yeah.
So, I mean, golf's totally different dynamic, and especially now, like, ball goes far, clubs go farther. I think he can be pretty solid. However, if you look at the best players ever, their careers were kind of between those ages that you said. One exception for sure is Hogan. Like, Hogan didn't win a major till he was in his mid 30s at least. But yeah, dude, I think any sport like where mental and physical kind of meet up, late 20s, early 30s is probably the best time.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, okay. Well, I want to talk. What do I want to talk now? Biggest adjustment, I guess, going from, like I said, amateur, college, pro. So, obviously it's a little different. They're feeding you, they're giving you the meal pass for college, and then going to pro, you're playing for your life.
Yeah. No, that's it. I mean, some guys thrive and some guys suck, basically. It's like, and it depends. I will say this, like in school, my college coach, and I loved him, nice guy. He wasn't a massive like golfer as far as I'm going to give you instruction and tell you how to act on the course, blah, blah, blah. He didn't really care. He's just like, your guys are at a nail school. Like, you have the best practice facility, figure it out yourself or you won't travel with the team. It was like, oh, hell of a deal. So he kind of treated us like pros, right? You get a lot of guys and they go, hey man, whatever, you just turned pro, but I'm used to somebody like babysitting me the whole time, work out at this time, eat this, eat that. It's like, well, if we wanted to tie one on at night and have qualifying the next day at 7, well, you better be able to perform hungover. You're going to miss the tournament. I mean, that's for god dang sure.
Yeah.
So we were kind of on our own, but I guess that's why a bunch of guys from our school played PGA Tour and played there for a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of like the old saying. I mean, like obviously, like coach hockey, you kind of give an inch, but don't take a mile, or what's the saying? Yeah, give an inch, don't take a foot. I mean,
I don't know, something like that. You're close.
Yeah, it's just a lot of measurements. I'm out on that. Exactly. You guys are metric system. I don't know, meters and shit. I mean, I'm sure it made sense. Sure, it made sense in your head though.
It definitely did. It sounded a lot better coming out there in my brain. You know what? Moving on here. All right, nationwide tour. A lot of questions come in later in our segment, but you played the nationwide tour. You had some great success, I thought. Just walk us through that. What is that there, beer?
Yeah.
What kind of beer is that?
You think you think I can talk to you guys without drinking? I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? This is a Dallas. This is Lakewood. This is a night ender for me. This is a stout. So this is like a 9.5% type stuff.
Oh,
when you
boy.
survive a tornado, you drink a stout.
Oh yeah, there you go. Sure, I would too.
Yeah, dude. What was the question? What were we talking about? What was going on
Nationwide
there?
tour.
Okay.
Success on there. Walk us through that.
Nationwide, it's a great tour. So like I remember, so Q School, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Q School, right? Like you used to be able to get your PGA Tour card there. It was way better than it is now. You can actually super big pressure. Well, I like fizzled out my first two times. First time I missed by 1. Second time I missed first stage by like 2. Now I'm on first stage again, which is first. It's supposed to be the easiest. It always seems like it's hard as shit. And I'm on the number round 4, year 3. And I shoot a 40 on the front. I'm like, well, fuck, this is not going to end well for me at all. So what happens? I shoot a 30 on the back. I don't know how I do it. I shoot a 30 on the back and then I like make it on the number, the exact number.
Yeah.
And then second stage, I straight up finished like 4th. And then I almost get my tour card. I shoot like 2 over the last day and I'm on the number there and play Corn Ferry Tour nationwide, whatever at the time. And always kept my card, top 40, top 60, and then switched to a guy my 4th year, Chris O'Connell. I was like, I got to get better, right? I'm going to be out here forever. So this guy was awesome. Coach was Matt Kocur. I think he was Scott Piercy at the time. My buddy Matt Weibrig. Anyway, Jason Schultz, good ball strikers. I was like, I got to go see this guy. Dude, my iron game got super solid. I won the Corn Ferry Tour money list. I think I had 7 top 5s, a couple wins. Good. Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. And I kind of putted like I always had. I always prided myself as like the worst ball striker on any tour, right? That's like my claim to fame. That's what I can hit it far. I hit people, wedge game, solid, but just not fun to watch. But short game, whatever. Can't teach heart type situation. And dude, he got me where I mean, greens and rag, everything was way good. Tour, whatever. I made like 17 cuts in the PGA Tour. We kept getting hurt, had a couple shoulder surgeries, and now I'm talking to you guys. So downward spiral, if I would say so.
I appreciate that.
Now you're talking to me. You think that's a downward spiral? Now you're talking to me. That's the downward spiral.
Okay, well, this question's gonna suck then. I mean, playing on the PGA Tour, obviously you mentioned some, injuries. What would you say really held it from like year after year after year playing the PGA Tour? Like,
I mean, injuries don't help anything at all. Yeah. PGA Tour, the difference is like, I won a couple of Corn Ferry Tour events, like 22 under, 2 weeks in a row, like a bunch of 20. The courses are easier out there, right? You can't hit it bad and shoot 22 under. You still got to make a lot of putts, do things like that. But the PGA Tour is a ball strikers tour, man. It is a straight up. That's why you see guys like Justin Thomas. He was only on Corn Ferry Tour for a year, but he never won, right? But a bunch of Keegan Bradley, same type of deal. I think his rookie year on tour, he won a major and another tournament, but like the Byron Nelson, but he never won on Corn Ferry. I mean, it's a PGA Tour is a ball strikers tour. Like under par means something. Totally different deal. And I just started not hitting it good, switch equipment, wasn't quite like confident in my stuff. And because I was a mental midget as well, boom, what happens? Miss your card. Finish like 135 FedEx Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Have a day.
Have a day. Well, it's funny you made that good point because like my cousin caddies on the PGA Tour for Answer.
Yeah.
And, he was a great player. Like he was, shooting 62, 63, 60, you know what I mean? Like, you know how it is. And he's like, these guys are like here and he's here. And his cap's a plus 6.5 or 7, whatever it is. I mean, just to see the talent levels go from one, like let's say the American Hockey League to the NHL. It's great.
It's great. I mean, that's it, dude. I mean, it's some guys you play with, or I see, I'm like, they're ass kicking machines. Like Speed, you love watching like Speed. Dude, that guy can bomb it.
Yeah.
I mean, if he swings like a serial killer, you're like, well, this guy's gonna just lose 10 balls. Like, long drive guys. I love long drive guys. I'm boys with a lot of them, but you see like when they're not playing golf for score, but when they're like some dude like swinging out of their shoes, you're like, well, that was cool. Like, but you're gonna break windows too. right?
Yeah.
But I love watching the speed. A lot of those guys can harness, and they're great players nonetheless. But dude, I think it's just it's a tough. There's a mindset to it as well, but you're playing on the PGA Tour. Your first year out there, you're playing against guys that have played the event 20 times, right?
Yeah.
Corn Ferry Tour, a lot of these guys, I was there 4 years, but 4 years is kind of a lot for out there without, and then those guys go to the PGA Tour. But there's so much like course knowledge and kind of knowing where to stay, what to do. I know this is going to be the cut. I know the pin will be here Thursday. I mean, that's kind of the different dynamic as well out there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to talk about what you're doing now. I mean, driving range, pro.
Yeah.
There was one driving range here in Regina, Saskatchewan. It's no longer a thing now, but walk us through, like, are you living the same, like, obviously you have a nice house and whatnot, I'm assuming, but you're kind of like Tin Cup.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, my therapist is an Indian dude, though. It's not like this hot chick like Renee Russo. However, credit to him for being fairly attractive, dude. But yeah, it's kind of. I mean, I started a business called For Golf with some guys a few years ago when I stopped playing, and to say it's a driving range is a little bit of an understatement. It's 52,000 square feet, like all this event space. I have a teaching studio in there, kind of like Top Golf. We sold it a few months back to a great group of guys that are doing a kick-ass job running it now. But yeah, dude, got into technology development game, like had a tech company that some guys founded that we were a part of called Big Shots, and it was awesome. They had a couple just fun developing golf games, getting hardware, talking to software, and we had flight scopes, talking to the games. There was a pinball game that was great, and then we kind of sold that. Then got into this Top Golf, Top Tracer stuff. It's just business dynamic, dude. I GM'd in 2019 for a majority of the year,
Nice.
So we I should say 18, half of 18, half of 19. So learned a lot of stuff, man. I was thrown into the school of hard knocks immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I can only imagine being a GM at a golf course. That seems like a
Well,
lot
ours
of
is a
stress.
bar. Yeah, ours is essentially a bar. Like we were open till 1 a.m. on the weekend, and a majority of our volume is on Friday, Saturday night after 5 o'clock. So I was running a sports bar, and then golf was just like in there. Like, dude, we were like budgeting. I remember our first year, we're going to have this many clubs, this many, whatever. We broke 1,200 clubs the first year.
Oh, jeez.
Really?
People suck ass. Yeah, people are terrible. Like you mix in a little bit of booze, they don't even know which way to swing, and it's a goddamn magic show out there every single night.
Man,
shit flying everywhere. It's like Vietnam.
We need one of those places here.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like this, but we have an indoor one here. So that's where we do our podcast from. And one of the guys was telling me one day that one guy was playing and he stood in front of the screen. He's like, try and hit me with it. Like smash your drive and try and hit me. And the owner had walked by and he's like, dude, you're going to get killed. But you hit a guy from 300 yards away. This guy's 6 feet away from the golf ball. And he's like, hit me.
Yeah. You're dead. You're dead, buddy.
Yeah. Dumbass.
Have a nice life. See you later.
Okay. You're supporting us. We're going to support you. You're a lot bigger, but let's chat about For the People podcast and what it's about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Dude, I like I'm all in for podcast fam. We're new at it, and I don't mind talking with everybody. I know we were connecting off and on or whatever because I was doing Monday shooters or out of it or intoxicated or whatever. I don't know where I was. However, I don't mind it, man. I think our niche. So I'm with John Peterson. If you guys don't know, John Peterson played PGA Tour for a while. Still has some starts left. Should have won the U.S. Open in 2012. He'll admit that he was a pussy and was just trying to two-putt because he knew he'd make about $500,000 just two-putting the last few holes. So we've had. It's good. I mean, he lights people on fire, and I try not to stand in his way half the time. But no, dude, we have a good. We have kind of a good podcast relationship. We both played on tour, which is a nice, reputable thing, whatever. Because people ask us questions, they're like, "What's this? What's that?" We're like, "Dude, I'll tell you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Who am I?" So then, and we were buddies with everybody. I mean, did some people hate us? Yes, for sure. Obviously they do. But we had a good time. So whether it's the club reps or a lot of former players, caddies, we had a good time hanging out, talking about the tournaments, whatever. Yeah. So For the People. Been super lucky with how successful kind of it's been early. Kind of have a little bit of a cult / mafia following out there, and I'm here for it. Like I played the Texas Open, the PGA Tour event a few weeks ago, and dude, we were getting like a bunch of For the People fans, and they were not sober when they were yelling at us. So we've kind of figured out our demographic, but it's all right. It's been fun, man. How about you guys? Have you guys? I mean, you've done a lot more episodes than we have, but have you guys enjoyed it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess we're 14-ish months now in, and like, yeah, it started from using a cell phone to, we got some material and all the stuff you need to do it. But I was gonna ask you though, like, what was the hardest thing that you found doing it? Yeah, the podcast, the first thing you started.
Just you don't know what to do. Like we didn't listen to a lot of podcasts. Like everybody thinks, hey, let's start a podcast. Well, shit, there's so many podcasts out there, and there's a reason why some are good, right? It's like it's kind of the ebb and flow of it. It's hard not to talk over someone sometimes, right? Yeah. And then you've got the sound component, and then you've got. So we were like, dude, let's just like kick it back and forth, like just us, and see what happens, because we didn't know like who we would get, what we would get, and it was like. We're so lazy. We can't find someone every week. Like what we need to just pop off on our own if we can't find anybody, right? Or I'm going to grab the mailman in here and gonna have to interview him or something. That's essentially what you guys are doing right now. So that's a hell of a situation for you guys. But I mean, dude, it's been fun. So, but I mean, we've had awesome guys on, Genghis, country music guys. Just I don't know, man. Like guys we met along the way, whether it's pro-am or whatever. Got a whole list of other dudes that are going to be on there, and we just answer basically questions that no one will want to answer that plays professional golf because they're afraid that they'll lose every sponsorship on the planet.
Right. And you said you get country music artists on. Who's the biggest country guy you've had?
Yeah, well, so we just had Tracy Lawrence on, so I mean he's kind of like one of the OGs, man.
Yeah.
Petey's buddy. We have a bunch of Texas country guys that we know. I mean, dude, I don't even know how many episodes we've done. We've probably only like a dozen in, maybe 13 or maybe.
Good.
Like we haven't done a ton. But like Genghis, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Message him, and he's such a badass dude. We recorded too. Like I was in Vegas and I was not in good shape, and I forgot to record the whole thing. We were talking for like an hour and a half. So the guy comes right back on. And does it again. So I mean, dude, he's a hell of a dude, honestly. Yeah. If anybody wants to know about Gigi, like Gigi is solid. He's nails. He's a good teacher. I'm glad he gets paid well for it now because he knows his shit. But we've had really good buddies. A lot of guys that I teach just from online. I started teaching a bunch of NFL guys, really good boys with Danny Woodhead. You guys remember like for the Patriots, Chargers, Jets, Matt Slauson, offensive lineman. They have a podcast called OON, and those guys are super solid, and their podcast is funny as hell. And been with him a bunch, and then me and Petey pop off a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. So we've been back and forth.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I just back to what you said earlier. Like, the one cool thing I'd say that I take out of this whole thing is like just connecting with new people.
Talking to new people.
Like new people, new connections, and you learn from every person you have on. I mean, I'm learning so much today from you, JJ.
That's not good. It's not good for you. But yeah, dude, the golf community is cool because like there's all different ages, demographics, whatever that played it. And like you guys love it for your own reasons. Me and Petey hate it for our own reasons. But there's all this like in the middle, right? Where people want to talk about it. Like, tell me about this. They'll be like, oh, tell them about this. I think we've been able to really relate to like just the common golfer in general. So sometimes people, especially instruction, dude, that's what I've learned. Oh, the, supination and flexion of your wrist needs to be, 46.9. Well, whatever. I would rather jump off a bridge than listen. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But it's like, here, let me show you. Like, you're opening this beer right here. Try not to spill it on your downswing right here. That's what you're doing right there. They're like, oh shit, that's a hell of a deal. Like, here's all my money. Take it all. Everything that you have. Thanks for showing me that. It's like, you're welcome. Come back next week. So it's just about communication, bro. Right? Like whatever, if you're recruiting or teaching or whatever, hockey, it's just, some people are visual, some people are hands-on, some people you can tell them what to do and write a paragraph and they'll read it and they'll do it. So it's, everybody's different, man. That's the thing about teaching too. Like you've had to,
patient too.
I wasn't a horrible teacher when I started teaching people, but you learn real quick, a dude that's 75 is not the same as someone that's 17 with the way they move and the way they think and things like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That's unreal. Well, let's move on to our segment called Questions from the Gallery, brought to you by our good friends over at TaylorMade Golf. There's a reason the number one player in the world uses TaylorMade, so why shouldn't you? The all-new Sim 2 and Sim 2 Max drivers are incredible, and they have so much more to offer. Check out TaylorMade Golf today. Team TaylorMade. All right, JJ. There's a ton of questions here.
Live commercial.
It's a live ad read right there.
That's not
Wow, now you don't have to edit that. That's a hell of a deal for you. Nice work.
A little easier.
Yeah. All right. Wasn't sure if there's a chirp or not, but all right. Off to our first one here. I think you have a lot of, like I said, a lot of followers that wrote in, but Chris Billings, favorite Monday shooter site. I read that later. I wrote that, by the way, too.
Oh,
Favorite
God.
Monday shooter.
Well, I played one today in San Diego, and in your mind, when you think of San Diego, you think of bikinis, the ocean, sun. No, fake news. We had like straight up hail and snow going down. Like I think I had been under par my last 24 rounds in Monday shooters, and I shot at 81, finished in just hailstorm, absolute hailstorm. I was over par early. I think maybe even a 1 under made it through this thing. So that's definitely at Bear Creek and Temecula with the rain and snow. Without a doubt, that's my favorite Monday shooter course. So credit to those guys and their snow course.
Quickly here before Dan jumps in, is Monday shooter just trying to let a Monday qualifier?
Yeah, that's what it is. That's all it is. Just a Monday shooter.
Okay.
I like that name. That's cool.
Yeah, just hashtag Monday shooter,
Shooters tour. You should call it that.
Yeah. Just it's just a Monday shooter because it's just a total crapshoot. You just throw your name in there and see what they pull out. See what the golf gods pull out for the day.
Okay, so what happens in it? Like, do you qualify for an event, or is that just like a Monday, like a loop?
Well, so just because it's credit to myself for being this amazing player. Yeah, PGA Tour ones, like, because I have Korn Ferry Tour status, I don't have to do the pre-queue. So like, it's just the Monday qualifier to get in the PGA Tour event. Gotcha. So the things start with like 300 people, and then they whittle down to like 100, which is the Monday qualifier, and then I can go to that one. But then only 4 guys make it. So and these are like a bunch of PGA Tour guys, mini tour guys, Korn Ferry Tour guys, 1 round. So you can imagine that you're just trying to knock flag 6 down.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Kyle asks, best course in Texas.
My favorite. I just got back from Blue Jack National, Tiger Woods design. I think it's ranked. It's top 100 in the U.S., but Whispering Pines is great too. But this thing is nails, dude. They have a 10-hole par 3 course that's lit till midnight. They have about the most amazing condition. It looks like Augusta National. They have little motorcycle scooters you can ride with coolers and speakers on them. The vibe of this place is unreal. So look up Blue Jack National. You guys will look at mine and Petey's stuff from the last week. I was there with him, and it's amazing. The 12th hole, it's kind of the farthest from the clubhouse. They have something called the Jerky Shack. They have some dudes smoking brisket, sausage, like smoked turkey sandwiches. They always have pretty good looking bartenders. They have frozen jackhammers. That's their signature drink, full bar. And you basically just sit there on the signature hole par 3 that looks like Augusta. And you can either take a 5-hour break or you can just breeze on through, but there's always like 50 people there chilling, hanging out. Bunch of TVs. Awesome.
Wow.
We got to move to Texas, I think.
Well, I mean, at least move there. At least move there. Well, you guys are in Canada, so the sun doesn't go down for the next 3 months. So you might as well stay there and play golf all day long.
And I just got my shot today, so I'm only like 9 months away from going down there. So
well, I want to ask.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, I want to ask a question about the restrictions. Was Texas ever locked down or anything?
Yeah, it just depends where you were. We actually had a bunch of shots in Lubbock. I think I got both mine like back in, I don't know, February.
You have both?
But
oh, wow.
Yeah, I had them both in February, but we had a surplus. We just had a gazillion shots here. Dude, I think I'm trying to think. We never closed in Lubbock. Like the governor here, he was a pro business state, which is why like the economy and everything bounced back. Same with like Florida. So some cities maybe were closed for a week or two. But then everyone was like, well, we're stupid assholes for closing golf courses because that's just stupid, right? You're in a wide open 300-acre field. It's like, I mean, don't make out with your playing partner if they make a clutch putt to win the hole. It goes without saying. Just don't be an idiot. So
exactly.
And then you go to Walmart and you'd be like, well, this guy has no clothes on. He has a mask on, but he's got no clothes on. And there's 700 people in here at the same time. So 300-acre field, probably acceptable. So probably give or take, man. I mean, whatever. People that wanted shit to close down. People that, certain states where golf and stuff could be open, it's fine. They're just like, use your brain, right? That's basically what was going down.
Yeah.
All righty. And I think this is probably one of your own listeners from your podcast. You probably couldn't get into yours because it's probably so big. So we got into our questions.
Whatever.
From T for Texas too. Best wedge bounce. That's definitely one of your listeners. Best wedge bounce and grind for West Texas conditions.
Do you guys not go full wedge grind on your pod? Really? Do you got to discuss the wedge questions very often? Wedge grind and bounce, leading edge technique.
No.
Well,
hold on, because JJ, we didn't tell you earlier. So Dan, what's your handicap on beers?
Oh boy, yeah, I'm more there to drink and.
Yeah, Dan's a morale guy.
Yeah, I'm the morale guy.
I'm a plus cap.
Yeah,
up there now, and my bro is like a 10, 12.
Yeah,
so like.
Well, so y'all are. I mean, maybe you guys play. I mean, it sounds like us, except we like to drink, and you guys are worse golfers. Other than that, it's just a hell of a situation.
There you go. Yeah.
Body.
We've got the common denominator. That's it. No, yeah. I mean it's all about the fellowship, hanging out, and that's it. I mean, dude, the wedges. So a little bit of an advanced question. So Texas 69 2-4 or whatever. Yeah, bro. We have firm conditions here. So really depends on your technique, though. So, and you guys, I might be preaching to the choir here. I don't know, but if you're a rotational forearm player, you're going to want more bounce on your wedge because you're going to use the bounce. If you're a leading edge type player, chipper, you want a little bit less. So I think it depends on your technique, but I like low bounce and, grind where I can just lay it straight open. The more bounce you have, though, the easier it is to hit out of a bunker. The more bounce you have, the harder it is to like open it up and hit a flop off a tight lie. So a little bit of, I think, try and see what you're the most successful with, right? That's kind of what I tell people. Yeah. There's guys that have in the Hall of Fame that have used both kinds. So who am I to tell you what to do? Not in the Hall of Fame yet. Jerks.
Want me to go?
Yeah. Go ahead, Danny.
I got one from M. Mara or Myra. Sorry, Myra. One thing you miss about being on tour and one thing you don't miss.
Well, it sucks not playing for $8 million every week. That's a son of a bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
But I've been I say the travel. I've been traveling a lot for money shooters here lately. But when I was playing full time, like I have a 10-year-old and 6-year-old now, but they were little and they could travel with me. It's fine. But now, there's school, everything else. Like traveling sucks now, man. The older you get with family, the tougher it is. So definitely don't miss the travel. You probably have heard that a bunch, but the way you're treated, just the atmosphere, the adrenaline, obviously you're playing for a lot of money, but just competing in the sport at the highest level is something that I definitely miss without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think like Graham Dillette said too. He's like, well, not, I guess different than what you said actually. But at one point he brought up was when he played the Nationwide or whatever it was, the Web, the meals compared to the PGA to like the Web or whatever it is, was just completely different.
Well, dude, yeah, they have. I mean, you'll have an omelet guy with like egg whites and organic avocados and some sort of nectar from the gods, and then or else you're got a McDonald's situation. It's not all they're not all like that, but it's like, dude, and I love McDonald's, whatever. But I mean, it's different. But these take pretty damn good care of you on Korn Ferry Tour, in all honesty. I think Graham was just so he's such an elitist. I love Graham. You're such an elitist playing in all the biggest tournaments. You forget what the little people are like. He probably played one Korn Ferry Tour event in South America or something.
Yeah.
And they had no food. But no, it's pretty good out there, man.
Alrighty. From Jeff Mond. Have you ever putted off the green into the water?
Who the hell are these people? And the only reason I say that is because these questions like hit a little too close to home. So yes, I have, and it happened at a Monday shooter in Houston. So obviously Jeff Mond saw what happened there. Played these greens in Houston. They're fat as shit. I'm pretty sure they were dead. Rolling a 56 on the stimp, had about a 30-footer, hardest hole on the course. Hit a drive, whatever, probably like 380, whatever I usually hit a drive, something like that. Pitching wedge because the pin's by the water to like 40 feet. Total shit shot. But I'm on the green. Next putt, next shot from the lake.
Oh, wow.
And you know what I did? I hacked it out of the hazard to about 12 feet and made it. So, since you guys are the rules experts, is that a 2-putt or a 3-putt?
2-putt.
It is? Yeah, I think so. Isn't it?
Sounds right.
I'll let you answer.
I don't know.
Chip it out of the water?
Well, they have that putt per green and reg stat though. So like I hit it 3 times after I putted it.
Dude,
Yeah, so
I
I did put it into the water. Technically I was in the hazard. I was in these marshy, watery weeds because I didn't just fly the thing into the lake from the green. I mean, I'm not a serial killer here, but it like kept going and going and going until it barely got over the green. And then I thought it stopped and then it kept trickling and then it was in like the marsh water weeds. He's obviously saw me talk about it or do something, and I hacked it out to like 12 feet somehow, career shot, and then made it for a bogue.
Maybe
So
it's a one
yes.
putt. If you putted it off, you chipped the back on. Now you're under green and reg, but you made one putt, essentially.
Who am I to say? I mean, I consider myself a hero, the fact that we're just talking about it. So yes. Should I have just answered the question like that?
All right. Scott Kolzik asks, just explain how good the PGA Tour players are. Give us an analogy.
You nailed it.
Yeah. Just give us an analogy of how good they are compared to, your everyday, well, besides the score and how they shoot and everything, but that's his question.
I mean, they're really good.
I know. How do you
I
answer
mean,
it?
there's a gazillion golfers in the world, and these guys are the top of the top from like 19 years old to 51 years old. So I mean, dude, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I wish I knew hockey. I give it a hockey analogy, but
that'd be
whatever.
That'd be like a third line East Coast hockey player, and then a third line guy in the NHL. I guess you'd say that. Right?
All right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, it's a dude in his rec league that's wheezing for air up and down the ice that needs 10 beers to finish.
That's us.
Against some guy that's, I don't know, freaking
Crosby.
25 Wayne Gretzky's. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's freaking hard. It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Alrighty. The intern asks, your caddy in one event is wearing the bib and your name is spelled incorrect on the back. Care to elaborate on that?
This has happened. All this stuff is like real reality stuff. This must be real humans asking these. Yeah, it's happened. I've gotten that's the ultimate hashtag play better. I mean, for sure. It's like, dude, whatever. NHL, if it's your first game in the NHL and they spelled the back of your name wrong on your sweater, play better, right? Get more famous. They won't mispronounce. Yeah, or get cut. Yeah, I mean, just play better.
Right.
Yeah, it's a dude for. It's happened. I've got Killen because I'm 2 L's, 2 E's, and I've got Colonial a few years ago. I got Killean.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
Shit. That was it. Yeah. It's not too weird. My name's not too weird. It's not one of those like Eastern European situations where there's lots of vowels and things like that. But yes, It's happened to me.
All right. I got one from A-Bone LIFRL. That's their Twitter handle, I think.
Could be a robot.
Yeah. Hole 6 at PGA. Hole 6 at PGA National or 18 at Quail Hollow. What's a harder hole?
I don't like PGA National. Some people love it. 6 at PGA National is a harder hole. It's not a better hole though.
Okay.
It's a converted. So 6 at PGA National is a short par 5 that they convert into a 4. So it's like the green's not meant as a 4.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I don't know, man. You can probably look at what the scoring average is for the tour guys, but 18 at Quail Hollow is just whatever they just play there. It's just a great hole.
Yeah.
So 6 is harder, but 18 is better.
Okay.
Alrighty. From Carson McDonald, how many jackhammers did you have at the first day at the Blue Jack?
Oh my God, these people are freaking stalkers.
Maybe we should collab. JJ, we'll just run for the people down in Canada, and we'll collab up.
I like Canadian, dude. We host something called Carney Cup, and it is, it's a nails tournament. It's at probably the dirtiest course you guys have ever seen in your life. I got pins on edges. It's a 3-man scramble, and we have ourselves a day. Most of the greens are alive too, so it's a good situation. But y'all need to come down for that. So I'm trying to think, dude. Jackhammers, I don't know. Like I couldn't even count. They're in a Slurpee machine. I had in the teens. After a couple of days for sure.
Okay, so what is a jackhammer? Is that like a vodka slushy thing?
So that's the signature drink of Blue Jack, kind of that course I was telling you guys about.
Yeah.
And they can make them on the rocks, whatever. But when you have a Slurpee machine, you might as well utilize that. It's only right. it's good manners, I guess. So it's white grapefruit juice. No, I lied. White cranberry juice, I guess Sprite, and then Deep Eddy vodka Ruby Red. Have you ever had Deep Eddy vodka or heard of it?
No.
All right. It's really popular in the States. It's flavored vodka, but not like you're thinking with like a liqueur where it's like the same ABV as vodka, right? Yeah. Like it can put you in the spirit world. Like it's like Tito's or Grey Goose or whatever. So that's all it is. And if it's frozen, it's probably like a bad batch of edibles or something. You don't really know who made the frozen batch. So you could have something that's probably low, or you could have something where you're like licking the trees every other hole. So I don't know. I don't know what batch I got, but the scooter, I got my deposit refunded. So credit to myself.
Danny?
Is this one from Sam or is this just a question?
That one's from me because
Okay.
I love this question. Asking golf pros this one.
Okay.
Yeah, ask it.
Here we go.
And I want the answer.
Yeah. Some people don't like answering, but so how much cash have you ever played for? And what's your next one here?
Biggest money match, win or lost.
Yeah.
Petey and I played for like 40 grand a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So
40 grand?
Yeah. So yeah, and we won. Credit to ourselves.
Oh.
So we were in the Monday.
Time out. You guys were a team, right? Best ball?
Yeah, best ball.
Oh,
so we were a team.
You guys played together for 40 grand.
Yeah, no, we were a team.
Okay.
We played. So it was kind of a tourney, but / it costs, whatever. You put in 10 grand and stuff like that. So yeah, we had like, I played a Monday qualifier. We had all this cash on us, and I had like, I don't know, man, probably 25 stacks in my truck. And I didn't know, I couldn't go to a bank. I was way far away from my bank. So I made it through the Valero Texas Open. I split it up. I think I put like 10 stacks in my bag. So I was carrying around like 10 stacks in my Monday qualifier bag, had another 15 in my truck. Petey doesn't trust anyone. So I think he had 2 loaded weapons in his golf bag and like 20 large. And like I carried his bag. I was like, God dang, dude, how many golf balls do you have in here? He's like, don't. Like, he's got 2 guns. So I was like, oh, well, this is going to end well for everyone involved in this situation. So yeah, that was probably the most. We had some side action and stuff like that, but yeah.
Side action on top of 40 grand?
Yeah.
So was it 20 a guy or 40 a guy?
No. So everybody put in 10.
Oh,
and there was like 7. There's like 7. We played over 2 days. There's 7 teams. So we had 70. We were playing for 70, I guess. Oh. But like the winning team.
So you were only out 10 if you lost.
Yeah, you're only out 10.
Yeah. So still a lot.
Plus, well, you're off. We were out more than that because there's a bunch of side action.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
That's unreal.
That was it. Whatever. Maybe you guys play for more than that. But I don't know, man. Loose cash gets a little scary because if you lose it, you're screwed. See you later.
Exactly. Yeah.
I can't. You just play.
There's a lot of. Yeah. There's a lot of West Texas where I live. There's a lot of gambling going on, especially Midland. It's probably the richest town in the United States, like oil capital of the United States. And
like Midland,
Midland, Texas. Yeah. So some dude they were rolling dice and they had those little like Coleman pop-up tables. And I was sitting next to him, just hanging out, having myself a cerveza, and he won 850 large playing, just rolling dice.
Wow.
So there was a lot of there was a lot of action on the table.
Oh,
there was a lot of action on the table there. Welcome to God's country. You guys should come down.
I want to go to Texas so bad.
Yeah. I've been to Oklahoma. How far is that?
Drive.
It's only an hour from there. Yeah, I did drive.
Well,
we drove 2 days and a half from Regina to Oklahoma.
And you didn't even make it to Texas. You stopped at Oklahoma. What the heck happened? Why did you stop there? What is happening?
We were there for a buddy's dad's. He was there for a reunion and whatnot. So good time though. Good. We played was it Chicken Horse?
I don't know, man.
I know. Okay.
You tell me. I wasn't there, but no, I think Oklahoma. There's some good tracks there, but it's not. You need to just keep going down. If you hit Mexico, you went too far. But if you're past Oklahoma, you're in the right spot.
All right. I want to know lowest round ever. Ball and hole.
I've shot 59 7 times. That was my lowest.
You ever shot 59, Drew?
No, I shot 60 one time at the Goulet golf course. It's a par 64. I was 12 years old. That's pretty
good.
Yeah, I was pumped. But it ain't no 59 in a par 71.
Well, this course is pretty easy. But imagine the guy that designed a 64 par course. Like, he finished the course and he's like, this is a masterpiece. Like, credit to myself. Like, this has got all the bells and whistles. Are you sure? 64? Yes. 64. Yes. That's it. It's the course. Hell of a deal.
There's only 2 par 5s.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even do math right now. There's 100 par 3s and a couple par 4s. I usually go there once a year to work on my iron game. That's about it for par 3s.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Well,
par 5s are gettable in 2. Almost 1 now for me. They're definitely gettable.
Oh, well, it sounds like 59 season if you play your cards right and you go back out there and play it again. I think you have potential for it.
I appreciate that. Okay, I want to know, obviously I follow you on Twitter, so I see, when you play these Monday shooters and you pick up, you just randomly tweet, hey, I'm playing here tomorrow. Who wants to caddy? Do you like that? Is that kind of growing your brand, or like, do you not want to pay a caddy, or?
Yeah, I don't mind it, dude. Like, I wouldn't do it at first just because, like, if you get into an event, you're COVID tested, like, if I know I'm around myself, like, I know I'm relatively disease free. So, like, I love the people, I love my followers, but I was like, man, last thing I want is, like, I get in and I maybe have COVID, or I give this guy one. So I was like, whatever. So once I knew I was like, for sure couldn't have COVID, anymore, and had shots and all this crap, I was like, all right, bro, whoever wants to caddy, if I'm in town, bring it. And I try to get like a high school kid or college kid or whatever, just because, I mean, it's not like it's a great experience caddy for me, but they like it, right? They're like into it. They want you to do well.
No, you're being modest. It's definitely probably pretty cool for those guys that can't.
No, but it's like, I mean,
like,
yeah, dude, but like whoever it is, like, I don't mind, especially if sometimes they're nervous. In Charlotte, I played horrible. I lost in a playoff last week for Nelson, but in Charlotte, I was done. I was looking at my phone, trying to get a flight. There was like literally tornadic activity in North Carolina, rain all over the place. I'm like, I'm out of here. So I left, tried to get a flight. This poor kid, whatever. I gave him like $100. I'm like, dude, sorry, I'm out of here. He's like, no, man, that was so fun. I was like, I played horrible. Like, I should be paying you $1,000 just for watching this horrific performance. But he messaged me. He's awesome guy. He's like, hey man, there's one in South Carolina. I'll meet you down there, whatever. So
nice.
I don't know, dude.
Awesome.
A lot of people are like, they don't, some people, it helps if someone's caddy, just because you don't want to like disrupt other guys in your group. Most everybody's pretty chill, but more importantly, you don't want them to like penalize you, right? Because there's weird rules. Like, I don't know if you guys have caddied for pros or like, there's little stuff you can do potentially that is no big deal and it's really not, but boom, penalty, right? And golf's that game where it's like, we call everything on ourselves because we're totally stupid and it just happens. So I try to pick a guy that's at least like, hey bro, I play on this college team or I play high school. So they kind of know what's up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind like whatever, the Happy Gilmore, the homeless guy in the parking lot. Sure, I'm here for that. However, that's probably rolling the dice a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. Danny, any more?
No,
You're done? Okay, well, I have a couple more here.
That's it.
No, hold on. I got a couple more here. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, I want to know your best. I appreciate that. I'm just getting carved. Best story on tour. Like, you must have a funny story for some pro, you and him hanging out, whatever, or one night out.
Dude, there's a bunch of good ones. I mean, I played with, and I told this on the For the People pod, but it was good. Like, the Callaway guys, like my rookie year, I was not playing great, but they're like, hey man, you need to play with Phil. I was like, cool. Like, I grew up in San Diego. Phil's from San Diego. Let's have a day. Well, if you know anything about Phil, he's not going to play a practice round with you for free. 0% chance. Wow. So now I'm like pissed at my caddy. I say that. No, he's a nice guy. He would, but we're gonna gamble, right? So god dang it, like my caddy, I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, this guy, we could be playing for 20 grand a hole. I have no idea what's happening. This is gonna be the worst day of my life, and I'm just gonna give up and lose because I have a horrible attitude. So I didn't know what's up. I go to finance. PGA Tour, there's like finance, right? They're like, all right, you can get out whatever. They say you can get out $2 grand. I'm like, oh, perfect. So they give me like $2 grand and 20. So I have like this fat stack in my wallet. It looks like I have a gazillion dollars in there, but I have freaking $2 grand and 20s in my goddamn wallet. And we get to the first hole, playing with my buddy B Steele. Brennan Steele's out there.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, everybody's going to play everybody. We played like a 15. What were we playing? $1,000 500 closeout, so only $1,500. I'm like, all right, this is going to be great. I'm only going to lose $1,500. I'm already like chalking it up as a loss at this point because I just hate my game.
You're already pulling it out.
Yeah, I hate my game that much. I think Brendan finished like 5th the week before. I'm like, all right, 3 stacks, whatever, fine. So then we get to the first hole, and Kip, I don't know if you guys know Kip Henley. He's awesome on Twitter. He's got a gazillion followers, but he was there and he reminded me of it the other day. And it's funny because we talked about it. He's like, he was caddying for Brian Gay at the time. Brian Gay, good, won a few times on the PJ Tour, solid. Actually, just won here this year recently. And he's like, feels like, hey, me and Brian will play y'all, whatever, just like $500 a hole. And I'm like, well, shit, that's not like a whatever. That's goddamn more than this original like situation. Now I'm going to lose a gazillion. Now I got to, and this is the Players Championship, by the way, where the purse is like $10 million.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, great. I'm such a mental disaster. You can make the cut and finish last, and it's probably 30 grand in that tournament. So I'm like, all right, let's have a day. So first hole, and Brendan, now we're like teammates too, and playing against each other. Me and Brendan, he's like, dude, Phil is going to hit some of the dirtiest shots you've ever seen. He's like, do not count him out of a hole ever. Sure enough, first hole, slice into the woods, punch shot, impossible bunker shot, lips out. And I'm just like, oh, this is not going to end well. Both birdie a hole. And then on 3, the 3's a par 3 out there. He like stiffs it. On 4, he duck hooks one right into the lake. And I was like, huh. So now there's like thunder and lightning, like boom, like crashing. Yeah, like crashing all over the place, thunder and lightning. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm thinking, I had played the course. It's my practice round. I'm like, I got to go out there. So what happens? Well, after like 10 minutes, he's like, I don't wait around for like thunderstorms and practice rounds. He's like, I'm out of here. Just pay me like the $1,500. And he's like to me, he's like, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just messing with you. He's like, I'm out of here though. It's like, all right, bro. So I was like, whew, like what a relief, man. That could have been disastrous. And then in the tournament, I was leading the tournament through 9 holes the first round and missed the cut. So I was already practicing my winner speech.
And you made 30 grand.
No. I missed the cut. I was leading the tournament and missed the cut.
Shit.
You don't get paid for missing the cut. But dude, that's a fun tournament, man. If you guys have never been to like TPC Sawgrass,
never. That's our goal, is to get down there once this is over. Like once we get down there, we want to fly down and like go watch some golf and just have a day.
Come down to Texas. Yeah, man. I mean, it's go wherever you want. Just drive and see what happens. I mean, I feel as if this is like you guys are like in jail. Like you guys can at least play golf. Like I teach a bunch of people in Ontario.
Oh, they're just
terrible. Like, oh my God, dude.
So many inquiries.
And so many amazing courses too. Like more courses. I mean, the most courses, right? The most people, whatever.
Yeah.
And they are just, I mean, they're losing their minds. I mean, there's going to be a riot there. There probably are. I don't even know.
Yeah. It's
but
a joke
I feel, oh my God, I feel horrible for them, but it's not like that here. So come down, have a day, see what's up. It's probably going to be 200 degrees when you get down here, but it'll be perfect.
I'll take it.
All right, JJ, man, this has been fun today.
Yeah, dude.
I hope you had fun. Danny, I think we had a good time today.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it again down the road, and we'll chat soon, man.
Yeah. Enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yep.
All right, dude.
All right. Take care.
Peace.
All righty. Episode 73 done and dusted. JJ Killeen, West Texas Driving Range Pro. Dan, you were there for that one.
Yeah.
Thoughts on it?
Well, JJ was ripping off jokes. He was kind of ripping on us a bit.
Have a day.
Have a day. Have a day. That's another guy where I just want to like golf with him or have a beer with him or something. He'd be a great time. But yeah, it was a good episode. Thanks to JJ for coming on.
Yeah, he such a good dude that I texted him one night. I sent a few videos of my swing. I said, hey, like, I have some questions, and he's like, dude, blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And he's like, okay, I'm drunk. Call you later. And then and then sent me like videos the following day with some advice and stuff. I'm like, so like, what a good dude to like, keep that interaction between us and keep the friendship up, whatever you want to call it, relationship.
Yeah.
So great interview with him though.
Yeah, he was a great dude. Like I said, he's funny, and you could tell you just want to have a time with him.
Just want to have a time. Maybe have a day. Have a day. Yeah. What else is there on that podcast? Anything about it? It was a lot of fun.
A couple weeks ago we recorded it, but yeah, it was good. I mean, it's cool how I didn't really realize the training that he does with people. They just zip him some money and do like a live Zoom meeting or whatever he does with training people on the, giving them tips on their golf swing and all that. So it's pretty cool though.
Yeah, great episode with JJ. Thanks for coming on the show, man. We'll do it again. Dan, what else is there? You want to rip off the social handles for us?
Yeah. The Facebook is at Off the Hosel. Instagram and Twitter at _Off the Hosel. Check us out if you're not already. If you're just listening on iTunes or what else are we on? iTunes,
Spotify, Anchor, Podwave, anything you think
Follow
of.
us on the social medias. Follow us on YouTube.
And follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. Push that button right below, I believe it is.
And like the video.
Like the video,
Comment.
share the video, comment. Yeah, tell us how good we are sometimes.
No, if we're shitty, let us know.
Yes. Okay, hats coming soon. Quickly wraps up here at 1 minute and a half. Next week will be Dean Prosty, the chairman of the Scotia Wealth Nipawin Tournament, and followed by Brian Munns. He's also a director of golf operations for Golf Manitoba now, formerly known as the Winnipeg Jet guy. Now, Brian Munns, Dean Prosty next week. So we'll talk to you next week, Danny H.
Yep.
Always a pleasure.
See you next week. Maybe we see Troy again.
I hope so.
If he's not still crying about the Oilers, then
shots fired. That's all for Dan. And for me, everyone else have a great Wednesday, great week. We'll talk to you next week. Peace. See ya.